Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm gonna be following Art with Flo. I did link her channel in the description box below along with her video. I did link the brushes that I use and the color palette also, so check that out.
And just make some random mountain shapes. And you don't have to make one continuous line. You can just stop halfway, that's no problem. As long as you don't leave any gaps, because we want to fill the mountain with color later on. But you don't have to make the shape and just glaze over the horizon here. By the way, if you enjoy watching digital art tutorials like this one, then you might consider hitting that subscribe button, because I will be making more tutorials like this one. Now to make this gradient, I work from light to dark, switching between the colors, but you can always switch back to the lighter colors or to the darker colors until you feel satisfied with your gradient. But if you feel like the edges in your gradient are still too visible, then I have a nice little trick. Just go to the magic wand and select Gaussian blur. Now if you slide just a little bit, not too much, because then you'll just have a grayish purple. If you just use the slider a little bit, you can soften that gradient as well. We will go to Luminance and select the Glimmer brush to start making stars. But first we need to adjust the brush a little bit. We'll turn spacing up all the way to max. And we'll keep jitter at max as well. And select perspective blur. Then pick directional. And move this arrow in the direction of the falling stars. You can also move around the circle to adjust the effect. And also use the slider from left to right to adjust the effect of this directional blur. I think something like this looks nice. Let's move to the mountains. We will add gradients to the mountains and hills as well, so let's use the airbrush again. We will use the soft brush and go to those mountains in the back. Select Alpha Lock on this layer so you won't be able to paint outside of that mountain shape. I want the bottom of the mountain to be a little bit darker than the top, so I'm using a slightly darker blue there. At the top, I will be using a lighter blue, so we will be creating a gradient from dark blues to light blues. For that mountain that's in front of this one as well. We'll just pick some lighter colors to glaze over the mountains, and perhaps also some darker colors from the mountain that's in front of it. Or actually, it's a hill. But let's just vary with dark and light colors to add some texture to this hill as well. Or is it a mountain? I don't know. But it sure looks a lot more interesting this way. Next up, let's add some snow to these mountains. So we've got that texture laid down now. Let's make it even a little bit more interesting with some snow. We'll use this burnt tree brush, which is part of the charcoals. Let's pick that very light color for our snow and go to the layer with our mountains. And we will try to paint most of the snow on the right sides of the mountains. Let's start with this peak here of those mountains and paint your snow on that layer. That way it'll be easier to adjust the snow if necessary. Let's do that for the snow that we will create on this mountain that's in front of our back mountains. For the snow on this mountain, I'll just pick a light blue. I think white will be too light for this mountain. It will stick out too much. But of course, when I paint on this new layer, the snow will be everywhere. And we don't want that. We want the snow to be on the mountain alone, but we can fix that by making a selection using this S-shaped ribbon and going to automatic. Just click the mountain. So be sure that you're on the layer with the mountain. And now that we have this selection active, we can only paint inside of that selection. So go to your new layer and start adding snow. You see, you can't paint outside of that selection, only inside. And let's again focus on those right sides of the mountains, just like with the mountains that we did in the back. There, I think that's enough snow. What this scene is still missing are some trees, of course. To add trees very easily, I've made 2 tree brushes, and you can download them for free through the link that I've added in the description. First, let me pick the pine tree broad brush and select a very dark blue.